All right. And we are back again on the Edison Now podcast. And as the sun is slowly creeping downward, it's getting a little more chilly out there, but it's still beautiful outside on this gorgeous Saturday, 1st October and Saturday. My birthday is next week, by the way. I'll be accepting gifts all week. We do have our third guest today, and that is the other running mate, the third running mate of, or not third, but one of the three, Padmaja Chinta. And Paddy, you go by Paddy, correct?
You can call me Paddy, yes.
Call you Paddy. Okay, Paddy. I know you the least out of probably the three, but we've gotten to know each other a little bit over the last several weeks. And for those that don't know you, Paddy, introduce yourself.
Sure.
Tell us about yourself.
Sure. First of all, thank you to Edison Now
No
for
problem.
giving me this opportunity to talk directly to the community.
Yep.
So yes, I am Padmaja Chinta. I also go by Paddy. It's easier to say. I am married. I have two children. One just graduated high school. One is in 10th grade.
Okay.
And
JP Stevens?
yes, JP
Okay.
Stevens.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a very impressive resume. If I say this not sarcastically, because I've resumes always get brought up in these things, and you legitimately have one. What do you explain to the folks a little about your personal background? What do you do for a living?
Sure. So I have a legal background. I have a master's in law from University of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I've been practicing in the field in New York for almost 20 years now. My focus is patents and intellectual property, so
Okay.
trademarks, copyrights, patents. And that's what I do all day, litigating about technology and science issues.
I find that fascinating. I'd love to talk to you more. I could talk about that. I know you can.
Yeah.
I know you can. It's that I find that so interesting. You're running for the Board of Education, and as you know, this is your first campaign. You've never ran before in your life, and I give you credit because I've ran before. And it's as you are probably learning now. Because it's probably very running a campaign. And Chris, I don't know if you never ran either, but it could go one or two ways. Like you could get a bad taste in your mouth, like I never want to do this again, or I like it, and whatever. How's the campaign going? And tell us why you're running. Tell us why you decided to run.
Sure. So far the campaign is going so far so good. I will say. Haven't gotten to the point yet where, oh my God, what did I decide to do?
Don't worry. We'll protect you. We'll protect you.
So why am I running? It's a valid question, and a question that a lot of people keep asking me.
All right.
And my response is quite simple.
Yeah.
I'm running because I want to help, and I believe I can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I have always been passionate about education since I was a little kid. I have been very passionate about advocacy all my adult life. Mm-hmm. And this is my way of combining my passion to give something back to the community.
Right.
I feel Edison schools still have a lot of areas that we could address and improve on. Mm-hmm. I often hear very loud voices when it comes to vendors and contractors and bids.
Right.
But when parents have concerns about curriculum or schedule,
Right.
they are told, send an email, send more emails, and are left to fend on their own.
Do you find it? Do you find it that certain candidates, or the rhetoric that goes on around the Board of Education is spent too much on the contracts? And believe me, guys like myself, our tax money is going towards that, so it's important that we have those conversations. But I also think it's extremely important that we don't forget and lose focus of the message, and that is the students.
Yes.
I'm not saying that sarcastically to you. I'm saying that to certain, because that's all I hear is about the money and contracts, and it almost makes me wonder why other folks are running for the Board of Ed when they only talk about vendors and contractors. It sounds like they have maybe some personal benefits. You know what I mean? Other reasons why they're getting involved in the Board of Ed, and I'm glad that you brought that up because we do hear too much about it, and there's not enough focus, in my opinion, and I don't know if you would agree, on the students.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's why I said the reason I decided to do this is I do believe there are very loud voices when it comes to vendors and contractors.
Right.
I want to see an equally loud voice, if not louder, when it comes to kids' curriculum and education.
Yep.
I want to bring the focus back to education, make that the top priority. Absolutely, taxes are important, but so is education.
Right. I couldn't agree more. People ask, they say, why do you go to board? I listen, I don't care. I care more about, what's being taught in the classrooms and what the kids are learning, how they're doing than I do than the vendors. And I should concentrate more on that too, because I love to connect some dots myself. And I'm gonna be connecting dots. Chris and I are gonna look into this. We will be connecting dots soon for another podcast, but find out where our money's really going. But Paddy, to close it up. You're running for the board. You're running with Tony and Maria, two solid candidates. You're a third, very solid candidate yourself, very qualified. Tell us why they should push the lever for you.
So, I bring a unique perspective to the table. Every candidate has a different perspective. I have a legal background, and I will be bringing that experience to bear on every issue that I handle, which means analyzing the details, questioning the underlying assumptions, and most importantly, the ability to collaborate with people that have opposite views than myself and able to find common ground.
Right.
That's what I do for a living. And I believe being a litigator, I'll use my advocacy skills to advocate for our children. I also think my legal background helps me with formulating policy, which is an important responsibility of the board. Also, I have been volunteering as an alumni interviewer, and I talk and I interview high school kids.
Okay.
Different high schools, private schools, public
Right.
schools, different counties.
Interesting.
So I bring a valuable insight to ensure how we can best align our students' experiences with the expectations of colleges. So that is something I think is.
I like. Listen, I haven't heard that before. That was good. That's good, and I like the fact that you are a lawyer because you could cross-examine. Is that cross-examine the others? I always wish I was. I wish I could be a lawyer. I wish I was. Should have paid a little closer attention in high school, but that's all right. The next life, Paddy. I wish you the best. I think you're a solid cat. I hear good things about you. Keep up the good work. Don't get discouraged, and keep up the good fight. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, guys. Thank you.